Do you have unrealized investment losses weighing down your portfolio? If so, you should consider tax loss harvesting. With tax loss harvesting, you will often hear that you are turning investment losses into tax wins. Tax loss harvesting is selling some investments at a loss to reduce the amount of taxes you would have to pay because you sold other investments at a gain. You then take the proceeds from the investment sold and buy another investment to maintain the value of your portfolio. So you are able to maintain the value of your portfolio while also reducing your overall taxes for the year. For example, I bought shares of Groupon during its IPO. It tanked. I was sad, but I was able to sell my shares and offset that huge loss against a large gain that I made on Google stock. I wanted to sell part of my Google stock that I purchased before it became Alphabet stock. I was still holding on to the Groupon stock, pretending that the stock price might actually recover. Anyway, I took the opportunity to dump my Groupon losses when I sold some Google stock. I was able to reduce my capital gains income that year by taking the loss from Groupon that I would have to eventually sell at a loss anyway. By strategically selling both Groupon and Google in the same year, I saved on paying more in taxes that year since I offset the losses against the gains. So the whole point is to reduce your taxes because an investment was sold at a gain when you have losses on other investments that you would like to take anyway. Tax loss harvesting is most often used to limit the amount of taxes due on short-term capital gains because short-term gains are taxed at a higher rate than long-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains are taxed at the same rate as your ordinary income. The top federal tax rate for long-term capital gains is 20%. Check out my video on tax brackets so you can understand your marginal tax bracket and determine if it's a good time for you to use tax loss harvesting. You should also consider any other deductions that you may have that can bring you down from a higher tax bracket when you are trying to determine if it's a good year to harvest losses. Since the short-term capital gains tax is much higher than the long-term capital gains tax, you should try to maximize the offset of short-term losses against short-term gains during a tax year instead of offsetting these losses against long-term gains. But depending on your circumstances, it still may be better to go ahead and use short-term losses against long-term gains to avoid paying the long-term capital gains tax. You should always analyze your tax situation to determine the best strategy. On your tax return, short-term losses are first used to offset short-term capital gains, and long-term losses are first used to offset long-term capital gains. If short-term losses exceed short-term gains, then you can use those losses against long-term gains and vice versa. For example, if you sell a long-term investment at a $5,000 loss, but had only $1,000 in long-term gains for the year, you could apply the remaining $4,000 to offset any short-term gains. Some people feel as though tax loss harvesting isn't a smart idea because it's done just for tax reasons and it only postpones the taxes. After hearing how it works, do you feel as though tax loss harvesting is good for tax planning? Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section below. Even if you think that tax loss harvesting is not for you, you can always deduct up to $3,000 in net losses from your taxable income. If your net losses exceed $3,000, you can carry the additional losses forward into the following tax years. For married individuals filing separately, the deduction is $1,500. Each tax year, you also have to include any capital loss carryforwards from previous years, and you are required to use your carryforward amounts. Tax loss harvesting can get a little tricky though. You, your spouse, or a company that you control cannot buy the same investment, or a contract or an option to buy the same investment, or a substantially identical security that you sold at a loss within 30 days before or 30 days after, or it will be considered as a wash sale. This also includes employer stock. You won't be able to write off the loss on your tax return if the sale and buyback is considered to be a wash sale. The IRS does not want you creating an investment loss just to get a tax deduction while technically still keeping the stock. You must be careful here because if you are ever audited by the IRS examiners will scrutinize your investments to make sure that you don't have any wash sales. An example of a wash sale would be selling Alphabet Class A stock and buying Alphabet Class C stock within 30 days. Tax loss harvesting is easier if your investments are in individual stocks. When it comes to mutual funds, it's more difficult. That's because the stock mix in a mutual fund that you're selling might contain a stock that also is in the mutual fund that you want to purchase. When you sell shares, you should consider using the actual or specific cost method. With this method, you have to keep track of the cost of each share, but you would be able to choose the specific shares that you want to sell. This is important because when you sell, you could sell the shares that cost the most so that you create a bigger loss to offset against your gains. If you're interested in a spreadsheet to help you keep track of your actual cost, please see the description box for this video. If you're looking for ways to offset capital gains or lower your tax burden, then tax loss harvesting may be a beneficial strategy. The tax loss harvesting strategy is better for taxpayers in higher income tax brackets. If you know your income will be lower in the future years, you should harvest losses now, because the higher your tax bracket, the more deductions you need to bring you down from a higher bracket. If you are currently in a lower tax bracket and you have reason to believe that you will be in a higher tax bracket in years to come, then you might want to consider using your losses once you are in a higher bracket. If you take losses while you are in a lower tax bracket and take capital gains when you reach a higher tax bracket, you may end up paying taxes on those gains at a higher rate once you're in that higher tax bracket. You can even implement tax gain harvesting by selling investments at a gain when your tax rate is very low and then buying back the investment. This can reset your cost in the investment to the higher amount. You would pay lower taxes on your gain while in the low tax bracket and have a smaller gain when you sell in the higher tax bracket. Also, there's not a wash sale rule for selling at a gain. You can sell and immediately buy the investment back. The best way to maximize the value of tax loss or tax gain harvesting is to use year-round tax planning and have an investment strategy. If you want to see more videos on tax strategies, please be sure to subscribe. Thank you for spending time with me, and see you next time.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."